What's up guys, it's Mike with Shallow Reefing, coming back at you with another video, and today, got some things going on in the tank, and I think I overlooked something earlier on in a video, so let's jump into it and I'll tell you what I'm thinking. So what precipitated this event and me discovering what I kind of screwed up on earlier in the month is this Walt Disney right here is stripping. I'm like, what is going on with this coral? It's stripping out. But then I'm looking at my gonnies and oh my gosh, what is going on here? There's like balding in the middle of this, and then obviously one of my favorite gonnies, the red one, died. And this gonnie over here is kind of like receding and cyano's getting on it. Then this coral has been kind of going crazy and I couldn't figure out why. It's just kind of like bleaching, stripping back. And then my LPS, my Dragon Sulfavia, kind of looking pale on the edges. Needless to say, I love those corals and I must have overlooked something. What did I overlook? Well, everything else kind of looks pretty good. And I did the bacteria testing and everything turned out pretty fine on all the bacteria testing. So let's look at my ICP again, see, did I miss something? All right, so this is my last fauna marin test, 3/18/24, but I sent out 3/7/24. So this is over a month old. You can kind of see all these levels are showing really, deficient or off in some way. Now with this, there are several of these that need to be dosed. Now the main level that I know that impacts, any gonnies is manganese. So if I look over at manganese in here, you're gonna see not detectable. So it was not detectable in the last ICP. It was just in that borderline range. It was a little bit high, drops down precipitously. Now they can't even, register it. Now you guys already know I use BRS 2-part and I put in, some traces from Tropic Marin. I do the K+, A-, and I put it in the calcium solution, alkalinity solution. I do 500 milliliters per 5 gallons. My son's in here. So I do about 100 milliliters of this per gallon. So let's look at how the ratios are and what is going on. Spencer's like hitting the wall and looking out the window and screaming. So you might hear him in this video. He loves looking out the window. So when I look at fauna marin's ICP showing red, barium was showing in the red, meaning I need attention to it. We have boron on here, and boron is in the yellow, meaning I need to also increase the dose. Chrome was on here, and chromium, I need to increase my dosage. Iron's on here, iron is in the red. Cobalt is on here, cobalt's in the red. Copper's on here, copper's in the red. Manganese is on here, manganese is in the red. Strontium's on here, strontium is chronically low in my system. I even dose it and it is in the yellow. And zinc is on here and it's in the red. So, and I dose 180 milliliters of calcium a day compared to this at 170 milliliters of calcium a day when they're mixed with the 2-part solutions, of course. So my tank's getting more of this than it is the trace elements in here, and this one is still chronically low. Holy cow. So that means I need to up my trace element game. I need to not only just kind of up it in general, but in 5 gallons, I'm putting 100 milliliters in. So I'm gonna double it from 100 milliliters per gallon to 200 milliliters per gallon, and hopefully bring this up, because I don't like my corals looking like that. Right, Spencer? Right. So I'm gonna up the trace element game and hopefully bring some of these corals back around. I just bought some, ICP tests, or the ICP total test from Fauna Marin, because I really want to kind of look to see what other levels might be, a little bit off in my tank. I have started recently dosing this KZ product. It's the potassium iodide fluoride concentrate, because my potassium levels were dropping down, and I'm also dosing potassium nitrate and calcium nitrate to kind of bump up the levels. My tank is just like consuming so much right now. It's kind of getting crazy at this point. And I also kind of fragged a bunch of stuff and gave it to Vet Reefer. So shout out to you, Wayne. You got a bunch of free corals, and Mike always gets some free corals from me. But right now the growth is probably hindering the tank a little bit. What do you think, Spencer? Yeah, he likes Dory. So overall, I'm gonna, you know, up all the trace element dosing, up some of the kalkwasser dosing as well, try to boost the pH a bit. I don't know, at this point, I don't really want corals to grow much faster. I'm not trying to sell them. I'm not trying to make a ton of money off of them. But, you know, I want them to be healthy. And right now, they're not healthy because they're, you know, out-competing each other for a bunch of trace elements. By the way, there's like one of the damsel fish, the spring-ray damsels that I put in the tank. I actually love this dude. He is like ducking in and out of corals. It's awesome. And then a harp-tailed blenny, if you can see him in the corner. He's super tiny because my other one got caught in a propeller. Yeah, I know, Spencer. I was really upset about that. Were you upset? And then the quarantine tank is still up right now because I'm gonna get some more fish and put them in because this tank needs a little bit more fish because my nitrates are chronically low, my phosphates are chronically high. So hopefully I will kind of even it out a little bit by putting more fish into it, and hopefully they poop more and have more nitrate or nitrite and turn it into nitrate, because right now this phosphate stuff still is too high for my liking. I finally got down to 0.16, and I mean that's even high, so we might try a couple other methods to reduce that phosphate. All right, so one of the things I thought was interesting is the sulfate, because you can see my sulfate kind of dropped right down here, you know, from 1129 to 318, just precipitously dropped. That's around the time I switched to Fritz. I don't know if it is Fritz or not, but this is an interesting thing that I saw. Too low sulfate values are suspected to trigger bacterial infections on corals. You know, I just had like some STN, or like I would call it MTN, medium tissue necrosis, on that Walt Disney coral. I think there's probably some truth to that. You know, I'm not really going to do anything about the sulfates right now. I will, you know, probably do something later on, but I don't think I need to dose anything at this point because it says no additional dosage necessary. Partial water change, which I just did today, might fix it. Oh yeah, I've been holding on to this for a while because I want to do some ICP testing with it, but if I'm already going to like bugger up like all my dosing and like double my trace elements, I might as well just start using this now. So I'm going to put that in the sump. I already got my little container right here with a lid on it because I like to do my water changes down there and dump my water in there. So when I do a water change and dump water in, I'm gonna put the lid on so I don't, you know, knock this mud everywhere. So it feels like I've been going about this with more of like a bacterial, like microbiome approach to see if I could like fine tune my corals. But really it just seems to be more of a chemistry thing that I kind of needed to do with my tank. Yeah, you saw like some improvements with the microbiome with, you know, dosing fine marine products, but overall, yeah, Spencer, what do you think? But overall, I think a lot of it has to do with like my tank is just maturing, getting, you know, more and more demanding as far as those trace elements. And when those trace elements kind of like bottom out, even though I'm dosing them, they're still showing 0. The corals just don't have what they need to grow properly, especially some of those LPS corals that I really, really like, especially those connies. So I'm gonna go and fix that right now. I think I'm a proponent of ICP testing. At least twice a year, do an ICP test. Check in on what's going on, do those ICP tests. I mean, the Fauna Marin stuff's super cheap if you really want to. I just got 3 ICP total tests on their website. I mean, for like $106. I mean, we spend that much on like a coral that ends up dying because we don't take care of our tank very well. So I think doing the time, spending the money to get those ICP tests really helps. Spencer, what do you think? Test your tanks? Yeah. Oh, heaven forbid you can't get Dory. All right, guys, that's all I got for you this time. If you like what you see here and you want to see more, click the subscribe button. Give me a like, give me a comment below, and let me know if you like the video and if you like Spencer being in these videos a little bit more. I know my family does. All right, Spencer. Spencer, say bye. Wave, say bye. Bye.